In the quiet town of Maple Hill, where life moved slow and familiar faces filled the same seats every day, there was a small roadside diner called Annie's Corner. It wasn't fancy, just eggs, toast, and coffee, but it had a warmth money couldn't buy. And at the heart of it all was Emma. Emma was a 29-year-old single mother of two, working double shifts and always smiling. Life had been hard on her. Her husband had abandoned her when their youngest was just a baby, and bills didn't care about heartbreak. Still, Emma came to work every morning at 6 a.m., tying her apron with purpose. She served coffee with kindness and listened to customers like their stories truly mattered. Because to her, they did. One rainy Tuesday morning, a stranger walked into the diner. He was in his mid-50s, dressed in an expensive coat and polished shoes clearly out of place. His name was Daniel Wright, a once famous real estate mogul from New York City. But after a messy divorce and a business betrayal by his closest friend, he had taken to the road, trying to figure out who he was without the wealth and the fame. Daniel sat in the far corner booth, ordered just a black coffee, and stared blankly at the rain outside. Emma noticed his silence, but she didn't pry. She simply smiled and said, "If you need anything, I'm here." The next day, he came again, and the next. Always the same seat. Always just coffee. Emma never pushed him to talk, but she always greeted him like she was genuinely happy to see him. One morning, she slipped him a free muffin with his coffee and said, "You look like you could use a little sweetness." That was the first time Daniel smiled in weeks. Days turned into weeks. Daniel still barely spoke, but he began to notice things. Emma helping an elderly man with shaking hands cut his pancakes. Emma buying breakfast for the homeless man who sat outside. Emma working through her own fatigue without ever complaining. Finally, one morning, he asked, "Why are you so kind to everyone?" Emma blinked, surprised he spoke more than 2 words. Then she shrugged and said, "Because I know how it feels when no one is." That answer hit Daniel harder than he expected. He realized she had nothing, and yet gave everything she had. Meanwhile, he had everything, once, and gave almost nothing. He began opening up slowly. He told her about his fall from grace, about the people who betrayed him, about how hollow success had felt in the end. Emma didn't offer advice. She just listened. And Daniel hadn't felt listened to in years. One day, Daniel came in early. Emma was cleaning tables and the diner was quiet. He said, "I want to help you." She looked at him, confused. "With what?" "With your life, your dreams. What did you want to do before all this?" Emma laughed softly. "That's sweet, but dreams don't pay bills. Right now, I just want to keep a roof over my kids' heads." But Daniel didn't stop. Over the next few days, he asked more. He found out she once wanted to open a little bakery. Emma's Bakes. She even had an old notebook with recipes and ideas she had long buried. Quietly, Daniel went to work. He called contacts, looked into commercial spaces nearby, met with suppliers. Then one morning, he handed her an envelope. Emma opened it and gasped. It was a business plan, a rental agreement, and a check. "I want to invest in you," he said. "Not out of pity, out of respect." Emma stood there, stunned. "Why me?" Daniel smiled. "Because when I had everything, I didn't value people like you. And when I lost everything, you reminded me what truly matters. You serve more than food, Emma. You serve hope." Tears welled up in Emma's eyes. She had spent years being invisible, broken, used to hearing "you can't." Now someone believed in her more than she ever had. 6 months later, Emma's Bakes opened its doors on Main Street. It wasn't just a bakery, it was a second chance. Emma hired single moms, trained high schoolers after class, and offered free muffins to the homeless every Sunday. As for Daniel, he became her silent partner, quietly rebuilding his life with a newfound purpose. He no longer measured success by numbers but by impact. Years later, during a local interview, Emma was asked, "What changed your life?" She smiled and said, "A man who came in for coffee and ended up giving me a future